Today we're telling an amazing story about a company based in Brisbane who are doing incredible things for people in South Australia and eventually Australia. The Cocoon Group was founded by Mr. Hira Khan. And Hira is a man of great vision, great passion and a commitment to changing people's lives. We first met back in December of 2018 and we hit it off. I loved his vision, I loved his plans. We met a few days later, I think it was Boxing Day. He flew from Brisbane for a 2-hour meeting and we shook hands on his commitment to build somewhere around 60 houses in South Australia, specifically designed as state-of-the-art and for people living with disabilities. He was particularly keen to provide quality accommodation and quality care within those homes for young people who currently had very few options other than to find themselves in aged care and in nursing homes. Hira and I decided there were better ways, and we set out on making that happen. Today we'll be telling you what that's come out like, how that's looked. And I think at the moment it's a very valuable story, given there's a lot of bad media about nursing homes, about aged care, about disability care. We today talk to staff, we talk to some of the cared for who live in these beautiful houses, and we take a look inside the homes and give you a sneak peek at the kind of quality that the Cocoon Group is committed to delivering to people living with a disability. They truly are changing lives, they are growing the economy, and they are building stronger communities. Now, Mark Aston is having a chat with Hira Khan, who's the project manager who is making all of this happen. At Your Business 2.0, we give your business the opportunity to talk to us about your challenges, your opportunities and your visions for the future.
Well, let's talk disability care now. Let's talk to someone who certainly knows all about that. Her name is Hira Khan, and Hira is the project manager of the Cocoon Group. Hira, welcome.
Thank you so much, Mark. Thank you for having me on your show. It's definitely a pleasure.
Tell us a little bit about you and also the Cocoon Group.
My name's Hira Khan and I'm the project manager for the Cocoon Group. And I've been in this position for more than 2 years now. Cocoon Group is a registered NDIS care and accommodation provider. We provide specialist disability accommodation and specialized support services to NDIS participants with very high physical needs. Although the company was created back in 2013, it was only in 2017 when the NDIS was rolled out is when we progressively started building SDA accommodation and focused on providing specialist support services to people with very high physical needs. The idea was initially to start building 20 houses, but we've now successfully built more than 30 houses and have a plan of building 30 more across South Australia in the coming years.
And whereabouts are they? Where are their locations?
So they range from Gawler to Encounter Bay. So we have them in multiple locations across South Australia. So you can find a house in Encounter Bay, Evanston, Woodcroft, Otterway, everywhere. I mean, we've consciously built them throughout South Australia.
And the wonderful thing about that is that people have a choice.
Of course. That's one thing that we're very focused on, because if an individual who's born and raised in Christie's Down, but because of the lack of suitable accommodation, who has significant disabilities, but because there's not suitable accommodation for them, they unwillingly have to be relocated to a place which is far away from their family and their friends. But we wanted to build SD accommodation everywhere so that they're closer to their families and they're in suitable accommodation where they've been taken good care of as well.
Now, I'd like to talk specifically about the accommodation. I mean, it is really catering for the needs of the clients, isn't it?
Yes. So SDA accommodation, SDA itself means specialist disability accommodation. So that means that these houses are designed for people who require in-home services or assistance for their very high physical needs. So the houses are designed in a way that they would facilitate or help the support staff and the providers to provide services to take care of people with very high physical needs. Now, these houses have many special features, but first of all, these are built to the highest LHD standards, livable housing design standards. And these houses are brand new, state of the art. But after months of research, extensive research, our senior management found out that there's an immense shortage of suitable accommodation for people with disabilities, or the present accommodation that they were living in was not aligned to their preferences or their needs. So our CEO, Mr. Zafar, he had a great vision. He wanted to build accommodation which was firstly brand new, state of the art, but also had all the features and that would help, or that would empower, or that would enable people with disabilities.
Very specific to their needs.
Very specific to their needs, exactly. So the idea was then brought to South Australia, and our project head, Mr. Rizwan Khattak, after months of research and many hardships, was finally able to design a house, because from our findings, we found out that people who were living in these presently in disability accommodation had serious concerns with accessibility, privacy, and security. So we wanted to design a house that covered, firstly, would address these issues, and would also be a beautiful house with all additional features as well. So after months of hardships, we were finally able to design our first and build our first SDA house in South Australia, and that was a great achievement for us. And then from then we just continued to build these houses. These houses have many features which I would like to have, but a few that I would specifically like to highlight over here. First of all, that the houses have step-free entrances.
And this is so important.
Very important. Very important. We might not realize because, but with someone who has significant disabilities or who's on a wheelchair, this might be a very big, or is a blessing for them. In other words,
and can be very stressful.
Of course,
if it's not working out for them.
Every
time they come into their home, they're worried about the step or those two or three steps.
So that was one thing that was very important. And other than that, we've provided automation in these houses.
Yeah. Now tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, sure. So automation, what we've done is that we've provided automated doors and automated blinds throughout the house. So this is for the comfort of the residents. So with just a remote and a button, they can open the doors, they can close the doors, and that just makes life a lot more comfortable and easier for them.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
And the bedrooms are very comfortable because they're large and they have an ensuite.
Yes, of course. That's one thing that we were very conscious of, and we made this decision that from our research, we found that people who lived in shared accommodations did not prefer sharing toilets or bathrooms with other residents. So we wanted to have them have their privacy and comfort. So we've provided fully accessible, spacious bathrooms along with these beautifully spacious bedrooms. So now they have their own little bathroom and they do not have to share that with anyone else.
And the idea of the space is obvious, but it's important we explain that a lot of these people are in wheelchairs, and some of the wheelchairs they tend to be getting quite big these days.
Yes.
So the space idea is brilliant.
Of course. So this is why we've made these bedrooms spacious so that the wheelchair can move around very easily. And we've also, and keeping in mind the movement of the wheelchair, we provided anti-slip flooring.
Yes.
Now, anti-slip flooring is another very important feature because we've got not only wheelchairs, but we have lifters and other things that require wheels. And it was very important that the wheelchair movement was easy for the residents that they were living in those houses. We've also provided sensor lights.
Yeah.
Intercom units in bedrooms and bathrooms.
I think that is just brilliant.
Yes.
And I can't believe that it hasn't been done in years gone by.
Of course. And another thing which is very unique, which I would like to specifically mention here, that Cocoon has actually gone beyond everything. And what they've done is that they have fully furnished all the common shared areas, and they have provided appliances, top ranged appliances in all the houses, which means that a brand new commercial grade dryer, washing machine, television, a fully equipped kitchen, a fully equipped pantry, that has not been done before. So that is something. So for the residents, all they have to do is, any potential resident who's interested, they will just have to come and bring their own personal furniture. Everything else has been provided by the Cocoon Group.
So the residents in their kitchen, they're making themselves a cup of coffee.
Yes.
They're about to head outdoors. Tell me about what they see outdoors.
Outdoors, we have beautiful outdoor areas. There's beautiful gardens, and we've made these beautiful outdoor entertainment areas. So it's just where they can relax, get entertained. So we've provided those as well, spacious outdoor.
Perhaps you've answered this question already, but what makes Cocoon so unique?
Well, I would like to say that there's two aspects of Cocoon. One is the accommodation and one is the support services. So the accommodation, as I've just explained, is unique in itself because we've added all these amazing features that I just talked about. Aside from that, the other part that makes Cocoon very unique is the support services that we provide. So our support services range from providing help, assistance with daily care that would include bathing, cooking, cleaning. So support staff will provide that. To complex services that include bowel care management, catheter management, ventilator management, wound management. So our support services we provide all kinds of support.
And when you're talking about that, to me, immediately I'm thinking to myself, if I was negotiating on behalf of my wife or my daughter or a friend of mine for them to make this transition into accommodation like this, all of those things you just mentioned are so important.
Of course.
They are absolutely key, aren't they?
Of course they are. And that's the thing that the support services that we're providing and the functions or the features that we're providing in these houses can cater to all kinds of disabilities, to the highest and to the lowest level. So everyone and we are consciously employing staff, support staff that have all the qualifications, that have all the skills, and have the right attitude. So we are looking for empathetic and caring staff.
Absolutely.
So that they take best care of these people living in these houses. And most importantly, Cocoon has also invested a lot in providing trainings to staff if they do not have them previously. And we would provide training programs specifically designed around a resident so that they could provide the best support to these clients.
I love the empathy line. I think that's so important for any client. You call them clients?
Clients, participants. We call them Cocoon family, to be honest.
Yeah, no,
they're part of our family.
I understand that, and that's fantastic. But I think for anyone who is a member of the Cocoon family to know that someone is looking after them, genuinely cares and has empathy. Not sympathy, but empathy. That is so important. You've obviously worked a lot on that.
Yes, of course. And the other thing is, I always say when I get questioned about, Cocoon. So at Cocoon, that's exactly what we're trying to do. Every person in the Cocoon group has the same ethos, and we're all working to empower. We're all trying to, the attitude is that we're trying, and the motive is that we're trying to get these people back to life.
That's wonderful.
And we're trying to, we're focused on social inclusion. We're trying to reduce dependability and improve livability.
And with all of that, it makes it easier for them to do what they want to do.
Exactly.
And to enjoy life.
Of course. Yeah. And this is why another thing about Cocoon is that we're a fun place to be. We're not just a house with two carers. We're a fun place. I mean, we're having birthday parties there. We're having barbecues there.
I love birthday parties.
Yeah, exactly.
Would you have one for my 40th?
Oh, please. That would be great.
No, actually, that was a while back. That was a while back. What about demographic?
So we're providing services to people from 18 years and above. And our research and our findings showed that people as young as 18 were forced to live in aged cares because there wasn't suitable accommodation for them. So we purposely and consciously made an effort to bring people as young as 18 to live in these houses, and not in aged care where they were totally displaced and not suitable at all.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I understand you're also working with the Department of Child Protection.
Yes, we're working very closely with the Department of Child Protection, and they're helping us transition young children who will be turning 18 and will have to start living independently into disability homes. So we're working closely with them. We're providing training to our staff, which is designed specifically around those children so they could transition and start living independently in our SDA houses.
Hira, what has the Cocoon Group done for the economy of South Australia?
Over the past 3 months, we've employed more than 100 support staff, and we've given jobs to more than 120, including the admin staff as well. And it doesn't just stop here. So when we initially started the project 2 years ago, we involved architects, we involved builders, laborers. So building 40 houses required a lot of manpower. So we've actually employed people we've actually used manpower from then, and that has generated so many jobs and so many opportunities. And after that, we've had, we started with a family of just 4 people, and now we have more than 12 admin staff as well. So altogether, we've generated many jobs in South Australia.
What about future plans?
At this point of time, we've built houses, SDA accommodation from Gola to Encounter Bay. This is our range, but we're going even further ahead. We're going to the regional areas.
Wow.
And at this point of time, we're providing short-term accommodation, medium-term accommodation, long-term accommodation, and permanent accommodation. And now we will be taking these services to regional areas. Now, Cocoon is also planning on providing free transportation to all the residents that are living in their houses.
Oh, you need to talk to me a little bit more about that.
Okay.
That is also a wonderful thing.
Yes, for sure. So Cocoon wants, as I said, that we're not just here to, as I said, just have a house and provide 2 carers and just leave it to that.
Yeah.
We want to provide free transportation for residents who want to go, for example, hospital appointments or community activities or other things that they want to use transportation for. Cocoon is willing to, highly considering and will soon be about to provide free transportation to them.
See, again, Hira, that's something that what you're doing is you're offering a free service, but you're doing more than that. You're taking the load off,
of course,
those people who are in the Cocoon family.
Yes.
And again, that gets back to allowing them to do what they love doing in life without having these issues and worries.
Yes, and the thing is that by providing free transportation, that also means that they can save that cost and then utilize it for something else in their lives.
That's a great point too.
So this is something we're focused on. And as I said, we will be expanding our services in regional areas as well, because we did realize that there's a huge shortage of such services in those areas. And aside from that, we're just focusing on, at this point of time, Cocoon is highly focused on just perfecting the services that we're providing right now. We want to be the best in what we're doing, and we're just constantly growing every day. In the last 3 months, we've employed more than 100 support staff, and the Cocoon family continues to grow every single day.
Your mantra is so impressive,
Yes.
and wanting to be the best is one thing, but actually being the best and being really good at what you do is another thing.
Yes.
And from what you've told me, you've reached that, and you want to continue to provide that wonderful service. If we were talking to one of the Cocoon family now, what would they say to you? What would they say to you about their experience now that they're involved in the Cocoon family and have this wonderful accommodation and these wonderful services?
Yes. So I always say this to people, that every day that I wake up, and people would usually think I have to go to work, but every day I wake up, I think I have the opportunity to make a difference in someone's life. And I say that because when I see the tears of joys in the eyes of people, when I hand over the key to a brand new property where they would be taken care of by dedicated staff, that gives me so much joy. And a few statements that people have made, the residents have made, is that Cocoon has actually rescued their lives. They were about to be homeless or displaced, but Cocoon actually came, provided accommodation, provided care to them, and has turned their life over. It has literally just saved their lives.
Wow.
So this gives me so much joy. It just, because we're putting our hearts and soul into this. And when we see that someone who would potentially just be homeless is being given such a beautiful house where they'll be taken such good care of, is just beyond words. I cannot even explain that feeling.
That is so emotional.
Of course. And
that is so emotional.
Yes. And with residents who've even said that they've just started being happy again. They're living life again because they feel more socially included. They feel that they could live like a normal person, like anybody else can.
Hira, you're giving them a gift.
Yes, for sure.
You are a gift to them.
No, thank you.
And they are a gift to you.
They are a gift to us.
Of course. It's
Just
a two-way street.
Two-way street it is.
This is a great union.
Yes, for sure.
This is a wonderful union. And Hira, you're encouraging people to come out and have a look at the accommodation?
Yes, we always encourage people to come out. Because these are scattered all over South Australia, there's various locations. You can go to any one that is closer to you. Go and have a look at those properties, see the various features and specialized features that we've put in these houses, and see how the support staff are taking care of these residents. So we always encourage that.
Hira, thank you.
Thank you so much.
If you'd like to learn more about our guests, or you'd like to be part of a future show, head to yourbusiness2.live.